What's up? What up? What up? What up? Please share my video. Share it with people so they can tap in with me. Please, appreciate you. How you doing today? How you doing? Topic: why most people struggle with confidence and don't even know it. You know what I mean? So. See something. Yes. One of the coolest things that I've learned in life is that sometimes we be in our own way. You know what I mean? And if we don't realize it, sometimes we could suffer for a long time. You know what I mean? And I learned that, sometimes we could be in our own way and slacking in our confidence. And that could be a terrible thing. You know what I mean? Besides the people around us that we know that can that give us those, hey, you can't do it, or how you gonna do that? And I ain't never seen nobody. You know what I mean? You be around those type of people. You know what I mean? You'll never get to where you want to be if you don't have yourself, your self-confidence, listening to that inner voice. You know what I mean? So that's one of the coolest things in love that I've learned in life, is that when you have yourself and you have your own confidence, ain't nothing that's gonna stop you. You know what I mean? You're gonna just take off. So that's the beautiful thing about life, is that no matter what, your confidence, it's gonna get you where you need to be. You know what I mean? For a long time, honestly, I depending on everybody else's, input, how I should do this, how I should do that, what I should do, and learn that, hey, look, it starts with you, literally. If you ain't got the confidence here, and you don't talk to yourself better, that's another thing. Just talk to yourself better every day. Wake up, talk to yourself, be like, hey, yo, I can do this. You know what I mean? And my years in the military, my moments of just loneliness got me through it. Just being like, hey, look, I'm gonna get through this. You know what I mean? I'm sure y'all all experienced that. Like, yo, I'm gonna get through this. No matter what, I'm by myself in this, me, myself, and I, and believe in God. God got you. And you gotta move like that. Like, that's, people think it's like some magic, but it is magic when it's on the spiritual world. But just on the surface of life, when you just kind of put things in God's hand and you just flow, and you have that confidence that no matter what, it's gonna work out. Half of y'all already know, hey, look, we just get caught up in the moment, or the emotion of, this is not right, this is not happening, I don't know what to do. But when you really release all that, and you be like, hey, put it in God's hands, hey, you got it. You know what I mean? Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Andre. Appreciate you. But it's the truth, though. You know what I mean? I would not be here. Look, I got a podcast. You feel me? Like, this is like beyond, like, you know what I mean? And every day I learn something new about it. You know what I mean? So I'm just grateful. My confidence it starts with me every day I wake up. And it starts with you every day you wake up. Tell yourself, yo, I'm going to get through this day. Have a plan. You know what I mean? We need that. We need that. Every day we got to be on it to be able to say, yo, I'm going to do this. Because where I came from, not having, the structure of a mom and dad in a proper family structure, it made me be you know what I mean? official where I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna figure this out because now I got a family. I can't lack on confidence. You know what I mean? Like my confidence every day has to be, you know what I mean? We set the standard for our day every day. I don't care what happens when you wake up every day. When you know me, I wake up and I'm grateful for my morning of waking up. We have control of that. We like after that it's us. We can't. I mean, we could be somewhere and people can upset us and things like that, but you got control over that. And your confidence and your way of living is with good intentions. It gotta be with good intentions. So many people be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, but if your heart ain't right, like honestly, you're not gonna get to where you need to be. And nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. I ain't perfect. Would never say I am perfect. But having confidence in what you're doing may offend some people. You know what I mean? Like you gotta have that confidence. And it's not a cocky confidence. It's not like, hey, I'm the best and nobody's can tell me nothing. No, it's not that. It's the confidence that God gave you. I'm gonna be honest. It's knowing that, hey, look, I'm moving in the right spirit. I'm moving in the right intentions. I mean well for people. And God, you see this and you just move like that. That's one thing I always say. I don't care what nobody say. I've always been a person to know that there's a God, a higher power, right? Surrender to something greater than yourself. And I think a lot of people lack that. They don't know that you have to surrender to something higher than yourself. And that's you know what I mean? That's a whole nother topic. But doing that will give you the strength, the confidence, when you really get down to it. You know what I mean? When you really get down to who you are, that's where you get your confidence from. That's where you get your motivation. Like every day ain't gonna be a happy go day. I'm not gonna lie to you. Every day I'll be like, oh, some days you gonna have them days. But you gotta know that God got a plan for you. Like, and that what you're doing is only gonna put you in a better situation. But you gotta move with that good intentions. That's all I can say. Nobody's perfect. We're gonna make mistakes along the way. But when you like really like, I'm doing this with good intentions and I just want nothing but goodness from whatever I'm doing and the people around me, God know that. He see that. And I tell you, I in my heart to heart believe when he sees that and how you move with your confidence and your faith, that you're gonna be good. But too many people that we be around that we look up to, they might not have that. And so we lose confidence because I say for myself, I used to, look up to everyone that like was older and had, more than I had from the outside, and realize that some of the things they never worked on, which is confidence. A lot of people could talk about a lot of things, but when they come to their confidence, ask them, yo, let's do something. Or the first thing is, I don't want to do that. I can't do that. I'm like, why not? Because I ain't never do that, but I heard somebody else, it ain't work out. And it's like, how you know it's not gonna work out for you? You know what I mean? And we live like that for so many years. So many people I know be like, I ain't doing that. I'm never gonna do that. And it could be that one little thing that changed their perspective. But because they're not gonna go that route, they're not gonna try it, they end up just never trying it and never growing. Too many people I know just never grow because they just like, I'm not doing that. And that, your confidence, you're not building your confidence in doing things. You know what I mean? And just, I'll say this. When you do the things that you say you're going to do for you, I don't care what it is. It could be the littlest things. It could be, I'm going to go wash my car tomorrow and I'm going to organize my shelf, my bookshelf. Back then, if I didn't do those things, it would mess up my confidence. Like, I would be like, dang, I know I shouldn't have done it. And the more we don't do the things we commit to ourselves, That's we lacking on confidence. We just, and I know I can say that for years, like me not putting the things priority, I can't even spit the word out. Prioritize the things that I needed to, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Like I had to do things. I had to make mistakes. I had to figure it out. You know what I mean? And we gonna make mistakes. And building that confidence now, I mean, like I'm only 5'4", 5'3". When I'm 6'10", be like, yo, how tall are you? 6'10", yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'll be like, because you want to feel good about yourself. You want to feel good when you do the things that you want to do in life. And I tell you, I think that's the separation from people that's successful and the people that is not. It's just the mindset. It's just the confidence that you put in yourself that I'm going to do this no matter what my mom say, no matter what my daddy say, my cousin, my sister, my brother, my co-workers, my grandma, whoever it is. I'm going to do this because this is what I believe that I can do. And a lot of times they only projecting what they never did or what they tried to do, it didn't work out. It doesn't mean they failures. It just means it didn't work out and they gave up. So a lot of times we listen to those type of people because, yeah, we look up to them, we admire them, we respect their opinion. But a lot of times it ain't coming from a place of confidence. It be a place of fear. And now you win that fear and you living life and you thinking like, oh, shoot, this is how I'm supposed to. And no, that you're going backwards. You know what I mean? So build your confidence every day you wake up. Tell yourself that you good. Tell yourself you're going to make it. I'm going to tell you, before like me in the process of starting my podcasting, I had so many hiccups. Like equipment, I had to go back and forth, back to Best Buy. I had to go this place didn't have it. I had to order this online. I had to do so much. And it was getting frustrating. Like I was like, yo, but I didn't give up. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do this. And slowly but surely now I'm going through the settings and I'm like, oh, this is too easy. So it built my confidence to like, I'm like, what's next? What's next? You know, so I'm trying to share that with you. Keep that confidence with you. You can't mix the world, what they think about you compared to what you think about you. You know what I mean? And I'm guilty as charged. I did that for a long time. I used to compare, like, and it's like, nah, the world, we know half the time the world don't even know what the world want. So you taking advice from people and celebrities that don't know you from a can of paint. But we are programmed and we are just used to, you know, following the trend and we looking outside ourselves. We gotta look inside ourselves. Like, this is the reason why I created this Conversation Within Us podcast, because it's conversations that we don't have within ourselves that we need to. You know what I mean? Like, conversations I have, like, to myself for years, and it was just like, you know what? Try to spread the word and find other ways to get it out, right? So that's why I created Conversation Within Us podcast. If you can see that correctly, there you go. But absolutely, this is why I created that, because I wanted people to have a place where they can come and we can conversate, we can talk about these type of things. The confidence, these are the things that I want people to know, like, what got me to where I'm at. It was the confidence in myself that, hey, look, I'm going to get this. And no matter what, I'm going to proceed regardless of what it looked like. It was the confidence that I had within myself, my confidence that God was going to show me the way, regardless of how ugly it may look. I mean, we ask for things. We ask, hey, God, show me the way. You know, I need the guidance. And when he shows it to us, a lot of times we don't be ready for it. We be like, nah, this ain't right. And I did it for a while. I was like, nah, my family won't do me like that. Oh, they don't mean it like that. They don't mean that. And I had to see, like, no, this is who they are. You got to understand. And they're hurting your confidence. You can't allow people to hurt your confidence. And the same person that hurt your confidence, you can't go to them for the healing. You know what I mean? So I had to get ISO. I had to go to the corner, I had to put myself on timeout. Like, you know what I mean? I had to put myself on timeout and be like, yo, what is it that you need to do? Because obviously I can't change nobody. We can't change nobody. The only thing we can change is how we perceive things and how we treat ourselves. You know what I mean? And that was one of the biggest things that I had to learn, that like, yo, you are who you are. You can't change that. People gonna be who they are. But having the confidence to continue to be who you are is more powerful than anything. Like, having that confidence to proceed, to get what you need, and to be able to look at life and say, I know it's ugly. Not everybody gonna like me. Not everybody gonna love me. But I know that I got confidence in what I'm doing, and God is watching, and I'm moving with purpose. I'm moving with good intentions, and I just want whatever best to come out of it. You know what I mean? That's my mentality. And that's why, like I said, I created this podcast, because I want people to be able to come and we chat and we talk and we laugh, and you see my goofy side, and I could just be me and just flow. You know what I mean? And that's why I created this podcast, obviously, and this is the product of my honestly manifestation. I need some water. Manifestation. And I'm just grateful, because a year ago I was not in this position. I was in the military. I was trying to get out. It was a lot of things that was on me, that if anybody understands the military and trying to get out or transitioning from one station to another, it's a pain in the ass. And getting out is even worse, because you basically telling them, I don't want to have nothing to do with y'all. I want to get out. And they, be honest with you, they could treat you like shit. Like, oh, you want to leave? All right, well, peace out. And they give you less support. So I had to deal with that, and just planning out what my future was going to look like. And I remember a year ago, me writing out podcast ideas and not knowing that it was going to manifest to something the way it is now. So that's why I'm sharing with you, because it's amazing to be able to say, hey, look, confidence, believing in yourself, doing what you said you're going to do for yourself is going to get you to where you want to be. And I shared this story on one of my channels. It was like, I met Steve Harvey a couple years ago, and I was just valet parking, working, and he came out, and somebody was like, yo, Steve, we love your car, man. This is so nice. And he like, hey, and he looked at me, and I was the one that was opening the door for him at the time. So I'm just like, and he, he's tall, so he like, yeah, this ain't no magic trick. You can get this. You know what I mean? Talk to God, build that relationship with God, and He'll get you anything you ask for. You just got to cut the bullshit. And he's like, you know what I'm talking about? And me being 20, 22 maybe, and he like, and I'm in the ATL, so anybody know about Atlanta life, it's lit. You know what I mean? From some sun up to sundown, it's lit. And I was just excited to be in the presence of someone that I watched throughout the years growing up of comedy. And when he said that, it was just like, dang. But it didn't hit me right away. You know what I mean? It took some years that it stayed in my brain, that it was just like, oh yeah, like he really was saying something. He really meant what he said. And the fact that he was looking at me when he said it and he was serious, it was like, oh shit, like I took that to heart. Like so shout out to Big Steve, because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing, and I wouldn't have took my life more serious if I didn't hear those type of things. And that's why it's important to listen to people that mean well and has good intentions, because we tend to listen to people that we look up to, or we may envy a little bit, or not even, I don't like to use the word envy. I don't never envy, but just more like admire. You know what I mean? Somebody might have a nice clothes or swag about them, or the way they carry themselves. You might, for me, I'll be like, oh, that's dope. You know what I mean? And you tend to realize that some people are just in a space of just being. And I learned from different people. I remember when I was doing the valet parking, I used to start reading heavy. And people are like, oh, why you always reading? We gotta do these cars. And I'm like, shit, I like to read. It helps me. And I remember something that I read was like, whenever you wanna, like, if you wanna know what somebody does, just ask them. You know what I mean? So I used to ask valet guys like, hey, yo, like, the guests when they pull up, like, yo, I'm like, yo, what do you do? And they tell me like, I'm an investor. I do this, I do that, whatever it may be. And it started building me and my confidence. Like, yo, you can do anything. You just gotta plug in what you want to do. And I just tell people, please, like, don't listen to anybody that's not gonna help you motivate. You know what I mean? Thank you, everybody, for chatting in with me, like coming in. I appreciate that. Please like and share. But that's why most of us struggle with confidence, because we're too busy listening to things and people outside of ourselves instead of taking the time, like, sit by yourself for a little bit. Sit by yourself, like, and no music. Like, this is not like, this sounds crazy. Most people are saying, no, really, like, have you ever done that? Like, I really sit by myself and I think. I don't even think. It's to the point where when I'm meditating, I don't think. I just like to be quiet and let my thoughts come to me. You know what I mean? And because my brain is always going. My brain is always going. So when I get into the mode of, I don't listen to no music, it's quiet, it lets me reflect, like, and it just puts me in a space of, like, gratitude, right? And life is so beautiful, honestly. When you really have good intentions with what you want to do in life, you really get to see what life is really offering when you move in good intentions. You know what I mean? This is Conversation Within Us podcast. So thank y'all for tuning in with me. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. And like I said, I just want people to understand that confidence really starts within yourself. And no matter where you at in life, start with yourself. You know what I mean? When you wake up every day, you got to tell yourself that you're going to do it. You got to tell yourself that I'm going to win. I'm going to figure it out. Even if it's hard, you got to say, yo, I'm going to figure this out. You have to say it because, like, it's the best thing that you can do is tell yourself. Because, like, if you guys, I'm going to put it in my chat, my YouTube channel. I say this in my YouTube channel is, you got to learn to listen to your inner voice, because you got to talk to yourself better, because your inner voice is always listening, And that is so powerful. When I wrote it originally, when I wrote it out, it was because it was like, that is how I managed to get through everything. Like, if anybody understands, we all get to a point where, if you have it, we all get to a point where it's like you by yourself. Like, you don't have everybody to help you. You know what I mean? You don't have maybe that mother or that father or that sister or the brother to just call and just get advice from, or get somebody to, you know, walk you through it, right? And we end up by ourselves. And that's where, to me, you build that confidence of resilience, and talking to God is going to help you build that confidence. For too long, I tell you, I just didn't. I used to shy away from it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? And then I realized, like, no, it was the confidence. It was your confidence that you was lacking in. You know what I mean? You didn't believe in yourself enough. Like, and if I didn't believe in myself enough right now, I tell you, I would not be doing it. I would not be here. Like this is legit. Like, I'm so happy because, like Steve Harvey, like, I got a podcast. He got a radio show, but I got a little podcast, and it's so inspiring when you really think about how beautiful life is. Like, we all been in a space of good things, and we have bad things happen to us. And when we think about the good things, we think about the positive and the space, and we want to stay in that type of space. And I feel like with the things that we do in our lives and the things that we choose, be intentional about it. You know what I mean? It's to the point where it's so sad in life, and I hope that one day it will all go away, right? um, but it's sad, and we all see the life that the way life is going, and people, the way people are being right now. Like we all see it. You know what I mean? Everybody is for themselves. Everybody's trying to get one over on somebody, or somebody trying to snake somebody, and it's so hard to trust, right? It's hard to trust. It's hard to be in spaces where you feel welcome. And I encourage you to make sure in these times that you lock in with yourself, because a lot of times the confidence come with we don't even remember or know who we are. We just be like living life and just and then I feel like, well, for me it was a moment where things were happening, and then it was like, why is these things happening? Like, why is these? And it was God preparing me to become the person that I am today. Like, I never saw it that way, right? As I'm reflecting, like, I see it, like, it was so, the way things happen, yo, we know. Sometimes we can't even explain why or how things happen. We just know what happened. And all I can say, it be God. God, he know what he doing, and sometimes we don't even know what's going on, but because we tend to love the world we live in, we forget that he's everything. You know what I mean? He's like, we know when to, it's funny, but we know when to praise, and we know when to say God, and we know when to, yeah, God, but we gotta live like that every day. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? I don't read the Bible, I don't do all that. I just know my spiritual and what I feel and I know from experiences. You know what I mean? Like, I reflect from the Bible. I like to read my daily, but I don't read it every day. I don't. You know what I mean? When it comes to me, I see something, I'm like, okay, let me read a little bit. But I don't want you guys to think I'm all about just the Bible and everything, even though I know how powerful it is. I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? I just know from my experience in life and the scriptures that I've heard and the things that I've seen and witnessed, like, I can't deny that. You know what I mean? We can't deny that. So it's a fact that I understand how important it is to understand what's going on in the world, right? And we have to understand that with that, we got to have that confidence. We got to know that no matter what, we're going to make it through. No matter what situation, we're going to make it through. And I want to tell you that, like, wherever you at, please, you going to make it through, and you're going to see the other side. Because you did it before. A lot of us, we forget, but we did it before. We did it years ago before we got to where we was at. We was in a better place somewhere else. Or we came from a better place or a worse place, right? So we know what it feels like to prosper, right? We just forget to keep that confidence along the way when things don't always go our way or it don't seem like it's working out, right? So, like I said, I definitely encourage people, man, please believe in yourself no matter what. Move with love. Don't be malice about how you, you know what I mean? I can't get jiggy with people like that. You know what I mean? When you malice about how you are, like, be just love. When you can't be loved, then just be ghost, be gone. You know what I mean? Love is love. It's free. You know what I mean? Be nice, be kind to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, pass on the love. Like, you want people to be nice, right? Be nice to people. Like, you don't have to be a whole people person, but just be a good person. You know what I mean? And I think that's what a lot of people, because of the way society makes us treat each other, it's the norm. Like, that's not, if I hold the door for somebody, just say thank you. You don't gotta just walk through like it's an automatic door. Like, that's when I get upset, when I'm like, people just forget that they need to be more intentional about where they are and what they're doing, and just be a good person. Like, if you don't do nothing else, just do something nice for somebody. You know what I mean? Because that's how your blessings come. People don't believe that, but I believe that's how your blessings come. When you do good to somebody, and you do good back, or somebody do good to you and you return the favor, it's going to keep going and going. But when you do, things that you shouldn't be doing and you know it's wrong, then guess what? You're going to end up reaping that. And I see it more and more every day. I just be like, oh my God, like karma is hitting people left and right. You see how people live, and you see all the what happens in the dark come to the light. You see what's going on in society. You see it. And it just makes me want to build my solitude more, growing within myself, because sometimes you just never know when it comes to certain people. People are people and you can't change them. So the best thing you can do is believe in yourself first, believe that you can do things before you rely on someone else, or listen to anybody else's opinion about what you should be doing. You know what I mean? I'm the first. I used to live like that growing up. Like, yo, if you look like you was doing something, a lot of times, like we know, things are not what they seem. People are very deceptional. They know how to, trick people into thinking that there's a way that they like to live, and they got this type of money, and let them do that. But I had to learn that, like, that's not the move, because once you get close enough to people, you get to see, like, no, that's not the way, that's not the move. And if you want to be blessed and you want to be in a space of abundance, you got to move correctly. You got to move with good confidence. You got to move with the sense of urgency too. You got to move with urgency. I learned that in military. Move with urgency. Move. Make sure you know what I mean? But confidence though. Good confidence. And once you build confidence within yourself, you can pass it on to your kids. You can pass it on to your love, and that's where I feel that's good communication of healthy relationships, of family bonding, is passing good confidence, passing good things on, not just what we used to. You know what I mean? How many of us know that we grow up and our parents or somebody we know say, oh yeah, you can't do that. How you gonna do that? I ain't never seen you do that. I ain't never seen nobody do that. Nobody in our family ain't never do that. Like, how you gonna make that kind of money? How? And you hear it, and without us realizing it, depending on the type of relationship or connection we have with that person, it sinks in our brain. Especially the younger you are, you start to sink in your brain, and you start to think like, oh, like, were they right? Are they right? Because when we make mistakes, I mean, for me, when I made mistakes, all of a sudden I'm thinking about what such and such said to me years ago, like, oh yeah, you can't figure it. You ain't shit. Your mommy and daddy gave up on you. They don't want you. You ain't shit. And it's like, man, maybe were they right? Like, so I say that to say that you have to know the difference. You have to know to separate the negative from the positive. Because if I were to continue to let those thoughts in my head of people telling me what I couldn't do, oh, you too short, you ain't gonna make no basketball team, or you too short, ain't no girl gonna want you, or just whatever, you know what I mean? And to know where I'm at now is it's an understatement to reflect on how confidence and how you can really be where you want to be. You know what I mean? Like, me reflecting every day, I'll be like, yo, like, this is fucking amazing. Like, everything that I wanted in life, I have. I feel spiritually rich. I tell my wife every day, yo, I feel spiritually rich. Why? Because I have come to a point in my life where I don't need validations from nobody, right? I have everything that I prayed for. I'm talking about 20 years ago. I prayed for a wife, or I prayed for a girlfriend to love me and just love me no matter what, because I was heartbroken at a point. And that came, and then obviously you want a marriage, you want a family. All that came as time went on. And for me to be where I'm at, I'm like, yo, this is after everything that happened, this is amazing. Because now I can reflect and I can live a better life than what I was brought into. I can show my daughter, like, look, daddy didn't have this, but guess what? I can offer this. I can give you this now. Because of the confidence and the things that I did along the way, that led me here. Like, if I didn't have no confidence, I'm telling you, I would not be on this podcast. You would never know who I am. You want to see my face, I would be somewhere. I don't know. I'll probably be on somebody's couch. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I do know is that confidence is the way to be. Not cocky, not, I'm the shit and I'm better. No, it's confidence that God is with you and that you moving in the purpose of what he wants you to move. Or you just in confidence of doing the right thing and people and want people to do well in life, right? And just live your life. You don't have to be all like a people person, but I'm just saying, have the confidence to get things done in your life. Because I've seen so many people that's not where they want to be simply because the confidence. They don't have no confidence. They just letting life just smack them around, and they like, shoot, I'm still here, and it's not the way you want to live life. You know what I mean? Thank you for tuning. I need some motherfucking water. Where's my water? But give me 1 second. I'm gonna have to get my water. But I just wanted to say this is that have the confidence in yourself that you will get through it. You know what I mean? I know it's tough. It might seem like it's impossible, but if you knew my life, you would think like this was, you wouldn't think that this would be what it is. And I'm so grateful for that. So let me get my water because I'm going to pass out. If I'm going to water, no diddy. Yeah, that's my beautiful family. You see them back there? Yeah, they be getting on my nerves though. But yeah, that's my beautiful family. You've seen that. But yes, I am just beyond grateful, and I share that with love. And I hope that this video inspires you some way, somehow, to just have confidence today. If you didn't have confidence yesterday, hey, I hope you have confidence today. I hope that you get to where you want in life, because there's too many people out here that's not happy and they make other people unhappy. And when you come to this channel, when you follow my YouTube channel, and I keep forgetting, let me tap it in, that life is what you make it. Life is beautiful. I'm grateful to be here. I'm trying to get better on this YouTube. This TikTok and this YouTube and this Instagram. And be able to, give good content, good knowledge, good inspiration. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is the reason I started this podcast, is because I wanted people like me to have a place where we can just talk. We can talk about in the conversation, and we can talk about self-awareness and be able to small talk. A lot of y'all tuning in, and I appreciate it. But tap in, leave something in the inbox, you know what I mean? In the comment section, leave something, you know what I mean? Let me know what's on your mind, what you got going on, you know what I mean? What's your experience with confidence, you know what I mean? How you end up where you at because of your confidence, you know what I mean? Or where you lack at, or how this video may have helped you, you know what I mean? Or change your perspective a little bit. I want this to be that type of platform. And yeah, it's going to take some time to build, but absolutely, like, just tap in. I don't have a time. I don't have a schedule yet. I just jump on when I have time, and hopefully I meet people like me, you know what I mean? So let me get my URL for my podcast so I could drop it in here. Please tap in with me. I am going to upload some more stuff and record some more. So hopefully you like, you know what I mean, and understand my mindset and how I live life, and my message in my messages in my videos, right? So tap in with me, you know what I mean? I go by the name King Sam I Am, also known as Stephen A. Malone. So that's why it's King Sam I Am. A lot of people are like, what do you mean? Like, it's not, it's exactly how it is. King Sam I Am, and I'm Stephen A. Malone, you know what I mean? So That's all that meant. You know, people ask me, what do you mean? What does that mean? So, or some people that know me be like, where do you get Sam from? I'm like, my name? It cracked me up. It'd be like, my name? If you know my name, you know my name. But absolutely, I do this because I feel like it's a passion to just be able to connect with people. You know what I mean? I'm a people person. I love to connect with people, and I like to see people grow. You know what I mean? Because I had people before me, like my mentors, that just wanted to see me grow. You know what I mean? They still doing well, and part of why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I think about that. Like, there's somebody that was like me years ago, or there's somebody like me today, but not like developed and have the confidence and the skills and the things that I have, but they're just like me. And that's the only thing that they lack. The difference is the confidence, is the self-awareness and the knowledge, you know what I mean, of just self. So this is what this platform is for. It's for you to come and tap in with me and be able to express, to share your thoughts, you know what I mean? Because I can learn from you too. It ain't just a one way, you know what I mean? It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. So I appreciate everybody tapping in. Please hit the like, you know what I mean? Give me a heart. How they do it, give me a heart. And just tap in with me, you know. Check out my YouTube channel. I got 2 subscribers. Please be number 3. And I am building from the ground up. So anybody that tap in with me, hey, just know this is from the ground up. And it's a journey, and I'm just enjoying the journey. I'm not even here to be like, hey, I'm gonna get rich tomorrow. I'm gonna take my time. And what God said to me, he said, 1 subscriber at a time. Because we get overwhelmed with thoughts, right? I get overwhelmed sometimes. I'll be like, I want this, that, and the third. And I want this, that, and the third to happen. But I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I want it to happen. And all God said to me was, hey, 1 subscriber at a time. So each and every one of y'all that's on right now, hey, if you like my channel, if you follow me, hey, that's 1 subscriber, 1 like, 1 follow at a time, and it's always appreciated. You know what I mean? And I'm just trying to grow my channel and network. You know what I mean? We're more so network with you guys to communicate and feel like this is a place of comfort. You know what I mean? And just growth. You know, learning from experiences from myself, learning from experiences from y'all, and just being able to, how they say, converse. I needed that. But yeah, life is beautiful for me right now. You know, I just turned 36, so I'm hyped. I'm like, ooh. And for me to be where I'm at, I'm talking 20 years ago. I remember 20 years ago, I was 18, man. And I remember what happened on my 18th birthday. And I laughed. I smiled this morning when I thought about how far I came, to be honest, because I was like, yo, like, I was given the boot. I got kicked the boot. Like, I was given a boot, like, get out. You know what I mean? When I turned 18, I was adopted, so it was different for me, right? So turning 18, that confidence for me was, my shit was shot. I was shot. My confidence was shot. You know, told that you ain't nothing. Told that you can't do it. You know, your mom and daddy didn't want you. Like, those type of things, that shit fuck your mental up. And I feel like a lot of people, we still listen. We still got those voices in our head from our parents, our grandparents, our cousins, our whoever, sister, brother, whoever was telling us, oh, you can't do that. And I realized so many people, without saying it, I see it. Like, they don't do certain things because they're afraid of what somebody else said. It's like right before you about to touch the hot stove and you hear that message, hey, don't do it. It's like how they feel with life. Before they go do something, because somebody else said they can't do it, they stop. They're like, you know what I mean? And I realize so many people are stuck, like they can't move because they so fearful of failing. right? Or what somebody else said, or what somebody may think. Like I was that person. I was that person to be like, oh, no, I don't know if I want to do that because somebody. But then when I started figuring out things on my own and locking in with myself, that's where the confidence and talking to God and talking to myself better. I'm telling you, it was times where I'd be like, man, I really was like, I can't do shit right. Fuck. You know what I mean? You say shit like that. And guess what? Self-consciously, you gonna believe that shit. Fuck, can't get shit right. Can't never keep a relationship. Can never keep them, you know what I mean? Like, y'all know what I'm saying? Like, you to that point where you're like, I ain't good enough. Why? Because somebody else said you wasn't good enough. If you grew up in a family that was always people that was proud of you, and luckily I had a partial timing of that from my mentors, right? They was giving me that. So I love them for that. But a lot of us don't. A lot of people I met in my years never had that. All they had was their mom and their dad, or either or somebody else, and they never was given that love, like, you gonna be all right. I believe in you. You can do it. A lot of people I grew up or that I met over my time be like, I never got that. Or the person that gave it to me passed away a long time ago. So all I was hearing was the people that said I couldn't do it or I can't. And now, a lot of them 50, 60 years old and they stuck. And it's like, what can we do to get them out of that mindset? A lot of people, they stuck in their ways. And it's unfortunate because now they're not looking to better. Now they unfortunate, their mind is like, hey, I'm about to be long and gone type soon. You know what I mean? For some, they're like, I ain't gonna make it. I'm gonna be gone. So ain't no point in trying to live life, right? I know so many like that. They're like, shoot, I'm barely making it, or I'm making it, so I'm gonna keep on getting by, but not realizing like your confidence was shot. Like if you would have gave yourself an opportunity to live, you would be living better. So live with the purpose of you trying to live. Like you don't want to live like you ain't got tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like live and be confident and be happy. Because like I said, I wasn't always in the space. Like being in the military, that shit messes with your mental too. People think it's just, we get deployed and, we get this check, we get paid every first and the 15th and we good. And nah, we go through mental shit. Like the way they talk to you, you know what I mean? The shit you gotta see, shit you gotta deal with, death, you name it. You know what I mean? So a lot of things will make you question yourself. A lot of things gonna make you wonder if you worth living, if you worth doing what you want to do. And I'm here to tell you, don't let that get to you. Don't let them thoughts get to you. You know what I mean? When you have negative thoughts, hey, get out your head. Hey, change it with a good thought. Be like, hey, you know what? That wasn't my thought. And that's what I tell myself. When I get a bad thought, I'm like, that ain't my thought. That ain't mine. I ain't believing in that. And I replace it with a positive. Because we understand that our brain can do so many things. You know what I mean? Why do you think a computer was invented? From our brain. It's a mimic of our brain. You know what I mean? And people don't understand that. Like, it gets deeper. But I'm telling you, with the confidence of you believing in yourself, because we are so used to and programmed to believe what the people around us tell us. Like, the ones that's supposed to love us and trust. We believe in them. So we believe that what they telling us is the truth. But a lot of it is just lack of confidence, lack of knowledge, lack of whatever from them. And when you take that and you let that be them, and you understand, like, no, this is me. This is me. I'm not going to take what somebody else think about me, make that mine. And I did that for a while. You know what I mean? Until I got to a point where I'm like, nah. I'm too smooth and cool to be letting somebody else's opinion reflect what I think about me. I can't allow that. And I know so many people that's older than me still slack the confidence that they need. And I don't know what to say, because I'm to the point where I don't force anything. I don't make anyone believe anything. I just share my truth, and I let people live life. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're here to. We're here to let people live and to share and enlighten people, but we don't force anything. You know what I mean? And it's just unfortunate when I see people and they not living to their full potential because they lack confidence. And a lot of us don't even realize it. We just be living life and just getting by. And then when you really look at other people that's living their life for real, and that's why a lot of people be envying you, because they see what they could have done or what they should have done. And because they ain't do it, they see you do it, they be mad. They be like, and you be doing it well. Even if it's your first couple times starting off or you never did it before, because you did it and they ain't do it, they be mad at you. They be envy. Or they just be, some be inspired. But you realize that it's so many things out there that you realize that all you have to do is believe in yourself, go out there, try what you want. If it don't work out, try again. And if it's not something that you want to do, you can do something else. But too many people are just not trying. They're not trying, right? People are just envy of other people. And the only difference is between successful people and people that are not is the confidence and the mindset. That's truly what I think it is. It's the mindset between having successful people and people that are not successful. It's just your mindset, perspective, confidence. Once you have the confidence, I'm telling you, it ain't nothing you can't do. And keep living life in the way that you want life to be, right? Keep living in the prosperous way. Things are not going to flow every day we want, but guess what? We have the opportunity with the confidence to live the way we want to live. And like I said, I'm so grateful to just be where I'm at, man. And like I said, you got the confidence, you got the willpower to do whatever you want. You literally got it. It's inside you. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you again, every day, learn to talk to yourself better, because your inner voice is always listening. You think about that. When you by yourself and you say something, or you, fuck, I can't do this shit. God damn it, this shit ain't never working. I can never, you know what I mean? You tell yourself that, and subconsciously you start to believe that. Right? So don't, enough with the negative talk. Talk positive. Be like, yo, I got this. I'm going to do this. Even if you mess up, I tell myself, I might be mad. Damn, fuck. But you know what? I'll be like, all right, reset. Literally. I was working on this and I reset it. I had to reset myself as I was trying to do my setting up my programs and everything. I was having hiccups. I was literally having hiccups. Day in, day out. If it wasn't one thing, it was another. I got another computer. I got my HP computer over there. That's for the gaming. This is my Mac. I'm over here trying to, it was so much. And I'm like getting frustrated, but I had to take a pause. That's my reset. I take a pause. I go do something else. Then I come back. And then I figured it out. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, okay. Then it started flowing. So the confidence is going to get you to that next level. You just got to stay on it. You got to believe in yourself. You know what I mean? I could have been gave up. I had to go back and forth to the stores. I had to do so much. You know what I mean? Because I realized what was going on. I got a HP. I got a Mac. I got my camera. I got the mix. I got the mic. I got everything. And I was trying to do everything on one. And then I found out, like, no, just do the two. You got to do this. You got to do that. And as I was doing it, I built the confidence. I kept building confidence. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Like 2, 3 in the morning, I'm hyped. I'm like, yo, I figured it out. I got this working. I got this. So I am so grateful for that. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, build that confidence. Keep that confidence going. Because that's is what's going to motivate you every day, even when you fail. When you got confidence, you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to try again tomorrow. That's why you see successful people keep succeeding, because they're used to failing. They're like, all right, it didn't work today. It ain't working right now. Let me pause or whatever. Let me re-strategize, restructure, whatever it may be. Then you're going to come back and realize, oh, I figured it out. You know what I'm saying? So Know that. Like, know that with your confidence, with your will to continue, your drive to make things happen, it's all in you. It starts with you. And you can't think or let anybody else outside of you, if they're not positive and trying to help you and uplift you, let that affect the way you think about you. Please, when you think about you, think about the best you can be. Like the best. Like, yo, I'm gonna get there. I'm this, I'm that. Not cocky, but just confidence. And believe that no matter what you're going through, as long as you stay on the path that you need to stay on and you stay confident and you stay consistent, I promise you, ain't nothing you can't do. Look at me. I got an old pop. Look, man, I can show you my whole crib. Like, you, it's a dream for me, like literally, because where I came from. So my confidence is even more better than it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, right? So please, when you reflect, when you enjoy the rest of your day today and enjoy the rest of your week, just reflect on your confidence, man. Make sure your confidence is where it need to be. Make sure you feeling good about yourself every day, no matter what nobody else say. Even if your spouse say something slick and say something you don't like, whatever, I'm still smooth and cool. You know what I mean? And that's going to get you through the day. And I wouldn't be here if I didn't have my confidence, man. And having you guys watching, having you guys tap in, is my confidence already. You know what I mean? Thank you. You know what I mean? I can't even thank y'all enough. Thank you. I appreciate just tapping in. You know what I mean? And I hope, like I said, this message, you know, this confidence message helps you some way, somehow. Don't ever let anyone stop you. You is the only one that can stop you. You got to have that confidence, that drive, you know, and there's so many things you could do. And as you know, as you build your confidence and you build your structure, life get better. Life get better and better. You be like, ooh. And that confidence is going to keep building and building and building. And it's going to stack like Legos. You know what I mean? Let me grab my Lego piece. Hold on. Let me show you. You know what I'm saying? Stacking like Legos. You're going to stack them like Lego. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, you just stack them. And like I said, I'm just grateful to be the age I'm at, the place I'm at, and I feel spiritually rich. And I hope that you feel spiritually rich and you feel confidence in where you at. And no, you might not have everything you want, but if you really put it in perspective, you do. You do have everything you want. You just got to know that you have it. Like, you have life. You have, you know what I mean? If you have a roof over your head and you have clothes on your back and you have food in your stomach, you already have it all. So be grateful. Until next time, I'm your host, Stephen A. Malone. And I appreciate y'all tapping in with my Conversation Within Us podcast on my TikTok. I want to understand, this is on my TikTok. This is my personal TikTok that I'm on. So if you check my comments in the comment box, I left my YouTube channel in there. Please go follow it. Check out those clips I uploaded. There's so many more that's upcoming. And this is just the start of something so amazing. And I'm hoping, like I said, you guys come back with me in Conversation Within Us. Hey, follow me so I can keep you updated. You know what I mean? I'm going to make sure I post videos of when I'm going to go live, right? And please, like I said, tap in with me. Let me know what's on your mind. Let me know what you're going through. What can I tell you to help you? Or maybe shoot, what you could tell me to help me. You know what I mean? That's the type of person I want to learn too. I learn every day within myself, but I want to learn from you too. All right? So, hey, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. It's going on 2 o'clock. I got to go get my princess from school and just get that afternoon going. So, hey, thanks again, everybody. Thank you for tuning in with me. And like I said, learn to talk to yourself nice, because your inner voice is always listening. All right? Peace.